Everywhere online, someone's telling you which is the best diet for you to lose fat. But if there really was a best diet, why do so many people still fail at the end? I grew up surrounded by countless information claiming that doing XYZ will certainly reflect awesome results on the scale. And I used to believe that until recently I lost 20 kilograms in the past 8 months. On top of that, I did not follow a specific diet at all. But then it got me wondering, do these diets out there actually work? That's why I spent time learning about diets. And I actually found that there is one core foundation. And this core foundation can determine if a diet is actually a keeper or just straight up trash. Now, obviously, we are not going to include fad diets in this video. And if you're wondering what a fad diet is a type of diet that actually gains popularity as fast as it disappears. I mean, just look at these. A cabbage soup diet and a baby food diet. Really? Trending diets, on the other hand, are diets that gain momentum more slowly and they actually stay in our society because they actually solve problems. Now, needless to say, there are a lot of trending diets out there, and after understanding them, I found out that some of them may be onto something. Intermittent fasting. This diet is all about timing and food intake. Now, there are two ways people do this. Some people do it the 5-2 way, where they basically go 5 days with a normal balanced diet and 2 days with a restricted calorie or just 2 days straight fasting. While the other way is a bit more interesting, which is the 16-8 way. Now, this is different from the 5-2 way as it focuses on daily instead of weekly. And every day there's an 8-hour window for people to consume food, and after outside the 8 hours, they're not allowed to consume any calories at all. The thing I find interesting about this diet and why it may actually work is because majority of the people work 9 to 6, and if you think about it, 9 to 6 is an 8-hour window. It could be simple and easy to plan. Just think about it. When you're working, you eat, and when you're not, you don't eat. But bear in mind that these diets may actually cause a misunderstanding. People would think that eating after a certain time of the day will actually make you fat, while there's actually no evidence because an apple in the morning is 90 calories and it will still be 90 calories throughout the day, no matter what time you consume it. I think that this diet could work because it emphasizes on a healthful and balanced diet without really restricting any certain types of food. And if there's less time to eat in a day, it should decrease your calorie consumption to a certain degree if done right. And here's something interesting. Despite the two different ways of intermittent fasting, they actually share one common trait, and there will be more on this later on. Here's my take after understanding the keto diet. If you're just chasing the sudden weight drop on the scale for that one moment, then the keto diet could be the amazing option that you're looking for. Let me explain. There are countless content out there making carbs the devil of the 3 macronutrients, and the keto diet, you guessed it, restricts carbohydrates. It says here that only 10% of daily calories come from carbs. And if you want to visualize this, a few slices of bread is probably the most you'll ever get for a day. Now, to not complicate things, keto is a diet that usually starts by restricting carbohydrates, and in the first week, your body goes through a process called ketosis. And what this basically means is that the body metabolizes fat instead of using glucose that usually come from carbs. In my understanding, if you stick to keto diet for a certain period of time, then the sudden weight drop is pretty much inevitable. Because think about it, 1 gram of carbs retain 3 to 4 grams of water in your body. And it's pretty much simple. When there's less carbs, there's less water weight retained in your body. Although it has been found that the keto diet has its ups and downs, there's something I think we shouldn't misunderstand is that water weight that you lose from restricting carbohydrates doesn't really mean that it is fat loss, because that's actually just water loss, not fat loss. There's also the paleo diet where people restrict dairy products, legumes, processed foods, and even refined sugars, and the list goes on and on. Now, obviously, I can't list out every trending diet in this video because the video would just be too long. But here's what I found out after understanding these diets. Most diets restrict timing, types of food, and encourages making healthier choices, which in the end usually reduces the calories consumed by us. But does this not cope with the basic foundation of losing weight? If you have been following this channel for a while, you've probably heard me say that losing weight ultimately comes down to burning more calories than the calories you consume, which is aka a calorie deficit. Processed foods are usually high in calories. You stop eating them, sub them out for whole foods, and most likely the calories consumed will decrease. Narrowing down the time period to eat limits the chances of eating food throughout the day, to potentially decrease the calories consumed if done right. So after listing all of this down, the core foundation is a calorie deficit. Well, not quite. It's staying in a calorie deficit, and here's why. Losing weight takes a long period of time, not days or weeks. Still don't believe me? Watch this. Imagine if we wanted to shred 10 kilograms of fat. It means we have to create a 77,000 calorie deficit. Considering that an average person burns off only 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day, even if you were not to eat for 2 weeks, it would just be unrealistic to shred off these 10 kilograms of fat in the first place. So a calorie deficit isn't the only important thing in a diet. The real test of a diet is how long can you stay in a calorie deficit for. That's the measure that differentiates if a diet works or just doesn't work at all. Hopefully now I got you hooked onto the idea of a sustainability in a diet. Now let's move on to some of my personal thoughts. Now this is based on my own personal experience. I didn't really restrict anything in particular to lose off that 20 kilograms. And I still had the luxury to eat what I like from time to time and still sustainably lose weight. So, do you really need to follow a certain type of trending diet to actually lose weight? No. Here's what I think most people should shift the emphasis to. Instead of wasting massive efforts to finding the diet, why not try mindful eating? Is mindful eating easy? Well, probably no. Especially in our modern lifestyle where the pacing is so fast and everyone is busy. It has never been easier to just go on autopilot mode and just eat what comes to mind first. But is mindful eating actually that hard? Well, also no, because it's more like developing a habit. If you can stick to making healthier food options, understand your body needs, etc., take it step by step, I guarantee that everything will get easier the more you go on. Diets, I would say, are more like tools that help making lose fat easier and not commandments. There's no perfect diet, and I firmly believe in it. Someone can tell you that this diet is the best diet in the world. But at the same time, there are people out there that don't follow a specific type of eating or a diet that actually achieve sustainable weight loss. With that said, if only eating non-processed food or timing your food intake helps you keep your calories in check, then by all means, go for the diet. Just don't take it as this necessary thing that you have to do in order to lose weight. And this wraps it up. Remember, there's a link in the description below to sign up for my free newsletter where I share more of my fitness tips, things I learned along the journey, and much more. Also, thanks for tuning in. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.